My next guest tonight plays Vicky on Suddenly Susan, which can be seen every Thursday night on NBC. Please welcome Kathy Griffin. Oh, how are ya?
Conan.
How you doing?
Look at you with your fame and your big fancy show.
It ain't that fancy.
It's huge.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Remember when we had our date?
That's right, long time ago. Years and years ago, we knew
it was like yesterday to me.
Well, in L.A. You see, they don't know. They don't care. Years ago, we knew each other in L.A. Don't you love that story, everybody? Yeah, no.
Wait, what I wanted to tell you is that one night we went for pizza, and it was really, really casual, and I completely thought it was a date. And the whole time, you were telling me what a horrible boyfriend you would be.
Right.
You spent the whole meal saying, I'm really boring. I just listen to oldies. I have a bad car.
I listen to oldies? Are you sure that was me and not like Ron Howard you were out with or someone?
Oh, God, it was Ron Howard.
Someone
That's
who
right.
looks a little like me? Anyway, so I understand, speaking of romantic entanglements, that you just left a guy at the airport. Is that right? Wait,
yeah, this is hot off the presses. This is yesterday.
Okay, yesterday you met a guy who could have changed your life. Is that right?
Yeah, well, actually, this is a guy that I already know and have a crush on. He's a big, like, tattooed, earring, freakaholic type, you know? I enjoy the freaks. And so he finally asked for my number, and so he called me up, and I said, oh, why don't you drive me to the airport? So then we're on the way to the airport, and I had my big plan. So I thought I'd just invite him to come with me on the trip, you know?
That kind of spur-of-the-moment romantic thing. Leave the car here, come with me.
Can you imagine? So then he takes me to the airport, and I said, you know, I was going to invite you to go to New York with me. And he said, well, why didn't you? And I said, wait here. So then I run to the counter, and I said, I have a first-class ticket. I need 2 coaches. I met a guy. And
that's like a button on their computer. Met a guy. All right.
Since it was a female agent, I figured she'd be like, ah, women know. So anyway, she starts punching up numbers and stuff, and she said, you can't, it's a prepaid ticket, you can't switch it. And I said, but I met a guy! So she starts punching in more stuff, and then she couldn't.
Does I met a guy work with everything, you know?
She punched in, met a guy.
Yeah.
And give the lady whatever she wants. Bing. So then they couldn't do it, and so then he walked in with my bag, and he had this horrible, like, dazed look on his face, which is my favorite expression for a man. Like this, he was like carrying my bag in.
Really?
Because I believe in like a stun gun form of romance. I think you should just, you know, kick them when they're down and surprise them. I'm all about.
That's the kind of guy you like. A hunky guy with a really stunned, surprised look on his face.
Oh, dreamy. So, so he walks in with the suitcase, and I said, well, they really couldn't do it, and he went like this. Oh. Like he was so clearly relieved.
He was stunned and surprised.
Yeah, but he was also obviously did not want to go and got freaked. And so then he goes, well, I'll walk you to the gate. So I said, okay. So he walks me to that metal detector, do you have a gun, conveyor belt thing? And then I said, you know, you better kiss me. I could die in a plane crash. And so he kind of awkwardly gives me this kiss, and I go, it's going down. I can feel it. So then he like gave me a more meaningful kiss.
You're such a bully in these things. You're coming on the plane with me. Now you're going to kiss me, see? What is wrong with you?
I have issues.
Yes, you have issues.
I have issues.
So what kind of kiss is that? The guy's like, you know,
Yeah,
I mean...
he hates it and he's stunned and I don't care.
You're just getting some skin-to-skin contact.
You heard me, baby.
Oh, my God. So where is this guy now? Are you ever going to see him again?
Yeah, I work with him.
Oops. Oh, that's good.
Cat's out of the bag. So, yeah, I don't know. He's like...
Is this the guy who's on air on the show?
No.
Oh.
No.
But it's a behind-the-scenes person at your show. So that's out there now in the tabloids. And the relationship will be exploited and then destroyed.
Out of the tabloids, Conan. That's my problem.
I know. Well, we got to talk about this. You actually are in the tabloids.
I'm in a publication called The Star this week. Perhaps you've heard of it?
Yeah, I think everyone's heard of The Star. And you're in here, and it says that you had a big fight. Kathy Griffin is Brooke's pal, but no friend of Seinfeld. It claims here that you had a big fight with Jerry Seinfeld. Tell the story. What really happened?
Jerry and I threw down. What of it? No,
Good guy to pick a fight with in the industry, yeah.
No, I did. Okay, what happened was I did a special for HBO, my own stand-up special, very exciting. It's running all month on HBO. And I do a story, you know, my stand-up isn't jokes, it's more stories and things that really happened to me. And when I did a guest appearance on Seinfeld last year, I felt that Jerry wasn't really attentive enough to me, you know what I mean? So
Did you demand that he kiss you before you boarded a plane?
Yes.
Okay.
And the problem is...
Yeah, where are you going with this?
And so anyway, I talked about it in my special, and I just talked about how in my head it all took place like when we were in this big fight, except that Jerry didn't know or care. And kind of like our date where I thought we were on a big date and you were just like, I just want pizza. So it was sort of...
It's a little insight into my life. This was a time when pizza meant a lot to me. All right.
So anyway, so I talked about Seinfeld a lot, and then there was this piece in the Star, and then he wrote me a letter, which I got today. May I read it?
No, you may not. Good night,
Please.
everybody. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
No,
Look at my rack. All right. So this is very...
That letter has breast all over it.
that letter
All
is
right.
just smothered in breast.
So
All right.
I think this is a really funny, great letter from Jerry, and it's got the Seinfeld letterhead, so it's official. Dear Miss Griffin, I was, up until your recent monologue on some obscure cable channel, unaware that you had ever appeared on my #1 hit television series that is named after me. I nonetheless very much enjoyed your little skit, although I obviously have no recollection of ever meeting you. I was particularly amused by the blank you Jerry Seinfeld moment. I assume the point of it being, how could anyone's opinion of me, no matter how slanderous, have any effect on my great empire in any way? How true and how delightfully funny. Anyway, I wish you much good luck in whatever it is you do, and hope that you continue to enjoy my history-making television program, Seinfeld, along with millions of other Americans and countless fans around the world. Enclosed, please find a box of Snackwells. Best regards, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, what a... You can show that to your grandchildren someday. Put that back in between your breasts.
It's going right in there.
Goes back there in the breast file. All right. Suddenly Susan, Thursdays at 9:30 on NBC. And as you mentioned before, in a clever story / plug, you have an HBO special this whole month, which people
Could you
can see.
kiss me, because I might die in the car on the way home?
We'll do that during the break. We'll be right
Oh.
back, everybody. Kathy Griffin. Give her a hand. We're back. And guess what? You got to stay tuned next week. We have some great guests coming up, including Terry Hatcher, Isaac Hayes, Mary Tyler Moore, Dweezil and Ahmet Zappa, Al Franken, David Hasselhoff. That's right, David Hasselhoff. Richard Dean Anderson. That's right, Richard Dean Anderson. And much, much more. So stick around, watch those shows next week. And when we come back, Phil Collins is going to sing. You got to see Phil Collins.